The Renari had studied humans for decades before the experiments began. To them, humanity was an anomaly, soft-skinned, fragile-boned, incapable of natural armor, venom, or claws. By every measure of survival, humans should have been near the bottom of the galactic ladder. And yet, they thrived. The Renari believed the secret lay not in their biology, but in their psychology. So they devised a cruel test. On a barren moon, far from prying eyes, they dropped human children, no more than 5 or 6 years old, into the nests of apex predators. These were beasts that could snap bone like twigs, creatures feared even by warrior species. The Renari fully expected to record a few screams, a few bloody deaths, and the confirmation of their hypothesis: humans were reckless survivors at best. But the recordings told a different story. In the first nest, a massive scaled beast reared its fanged maw over a trembling human boy. Instead of freezing or fleeing, the boy reached out and touched the creature's snout, giggling as if it were no more dangerous than a stray dog. The beast snarled, sniffed, then, strangely, lowered its head. By the second day, the predator was guarding the boy, snapping at other threats that ventured too close. In another nest, a little girl had crawled into the center of a clutch of spined wolf beasts. She hugged their cubs as though they were stuffed toys. The adult pack returned, bristling with hunger and fury. Yet when the girl laughed and offered a cub back to its mother, the pack froze. Slowly, they accepted her. By nightfall, the girl was curled up between them, safe in their warmth. The Renari scientists reviewed the feeds again and again. They could not comprehend it. Where fear should have ruled, trust blossomed. Where death should have been inevitable, a strange adoption had occurred. It wasn't the predators who had claimed the children. It was the children who had claimed the predators. Days turned into weeks. The human cubs didn't just survive, they thrived. They taught the beasts games. They tugged at ears, patted scaled hides, even rode on broad shoulders. The predators, once uncontrollable engines of violence, became guardians, teachers, even playmates. Their instincts should have driven them to kill. Instead, they became protectors. One Renari biologist whispered the first forbidden word: bonding. Soon, the predators began acting in ways unseen before. They coordinated to bring food not just for themselves, but for the children. They allowed the human cubs to discipline their young, to tug them into line. Packs and pride shifted their hierarchy to make space for tiny, soft-skinned leaders. The predators, apex terrors of their ecosystems, were bending. The Renari grew afraid. If this was the nature of humanity, if they could walk unarmed into the lairs of nightmares and emerge as family, what would happen if such creatures spread unchecked across the galaxy? The decision was made to terminate the project. Strike teams were sent to retrieve the children and neutralize the predator packs. But the predators resisted. Claws and fangs flashed. Scaled hides absorbed blaster fire. Wolves howled as they tore through armored soldiers. The humans screamed, not in fear, but in rage, for their families. One child, clutching the neck of a beast twice the size of a Renari warrior, pointed a tiny finger and shouted, "Get them!" The predators obeyed. What should have been a clean operation devolved into chaos. The Renari strike teams were shredded, their advanced weapons no match for the fury of beasts defending their adopted young. By the time reinforcements arrived, the sites were empty. No children, no predators, only blood and wreckage. Months later, reports began surfacing across the outer colonies. Packs of apex predators were seen traveling with small human children at their center, raiding Renari outposts, destroying supply lines, vanishing into the wilds. Other species whispered in fear. The humans had not just survived the experiment. They had built armies. The lesson was clear, though none dared speak it aloud. Predators could not tame humans. Humans tamed predators. And now the galaxy had to reckon with what that truly meant.